It's me and my babies, it's me and my babies.
We doing this YouTube thing.
It's me and my babies, it's me and my babies.
We doing this YouTube thing.
What we doing?
We cooking, we in these streets.
It's me and my babies, it's me and my babies.
We doing this YouTube thing.
What's up, Boo fam? It's your girl, Miss Louisiana Housewife, and today, y'all, in the Housewife kitchen, we're gonna cook dressing, cornbread dressing. And the ingredients that I'm gonna start out with will be fresh parsley, but you don't want to use too much fresh parsley because fresh parsley makes your dressing bitter. So I'm gonna take about this much of the fresh parsley and cut it up. We're going to use, depending on if you're making a big pan of dressing, you want to use 2 whole things of celery. I use 2 of them, but on this one, I'm going to use 1. And also, you would use 2 white onions. So, that's how we're going to start our cornbread dressing. Also, y'all, we're going to use green onions. So this is a mixture of the celery, the fresh parsley, the 2 white onions, and also 2 bunches of green onions. So we're going to take all of this. Now that everything is cut up, I'm going to take and we're going to add 2 sticks of butter to this. It's a preference for me. You can do the butter how you want. But I like to put a stick of butter at the bottom. I'm slowly pouring in my seasoning, y'all, because I don't want it to waste all over. Put it so y'all can see it. I'm just slowly putting it in here. And if it fills up the pot, that's okay because this has to cook down. It will cook down. Okay. The other stick of butter. Put it on top. I'm going to place this pot on the stove, and I'm going to put the heat between 7 and 8 on the stove. I am also, once it cooks down a little bit and the butter melts, I'm going to place a lid over it and lower it down to maybe 4 or 5 on the cooktop until the vegetables are good and right. I'm gonna call it good and ready. So when we get this started, I'll be right back. Okay, so these are our turkey necks. They've been washed, they've been cleaned. To these turkey necks, I am going to pour. I have them filled to the line with water, but I'm also going to pour in some chicken broth, and it's any brand name you like, whether it's Great Value or Progresso, any kind of chicken broth you want. So I'm going to use a half a carton of the chicken broth. Okay, I'm going to put this between 7 and 8 to let it start boiling. Here I have a white onion, celery, and fresh parsley, and green onions. And I'm just going to put that in there. And to this mixture, I'm going to add salt. And black pepper. And that's all you want to season your turkey necks with. It's salt, black pepper, green onions, celery, fresh parsley, and a white onion, like a half of a white onion. You don't want to use too much fresh parsley because fresh parsley will make your food bitter. So we're going to let this come to a boil, and then we'll come back to it. Vegetables are still cooking down. So at this point, I am going to reduce the heat down to between 3 and 4. And I'm going to cover the pot. And I'm going to move over and let y'all see turkey necks still cooking. All right, Boo Fam. When I make my cornbread dressing, I also clean and stuff my own chicken that I break up and put into the dressing. Let me get this over so y'all can see. I clean my own chicken. I do not dry the chicken because I want that dampness of the chicken to hold on to my seasoning. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna move this out the way and show you all how I start with seasoning my 2 chickens. I usually take 2 to 3 sticks of butter. I'm going to use 2 because usually when I do 3, I have a little butter left over. I am going to put it in a bowl. Okay. I am going to add, this is dried parsley flakes. I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of tablespoon, of the parsley flakes. About a tablespoon of the Zatarain seasoning, any kind of Creole seasoning. Even Tony Saturates, I'm just going to put a little bit of that. Remember, this butter is already salted, so you don't want to put too much salt you don't want to have too much salt with having the butter itself with salt. The Creole seasoning has salt, and then we're going to put a little bit of salt like that. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of black pepper, about a tablespoon of onion powder, and a tablespoon of garlic. Gotta watch the garlic because the thing is broke. Okay. Also to this, I am going to add about a teaspoon of minced garlic. What I'm doing, I'm making a paste so I can stuff it under the chicken skin so that the seasoning soak into the chicken while the chicken is cooking. So I'm just going to take this and mash it down like this. Make sure you mix it in there well. Let me show y'all. Fingers just like this. See up under this layer of skin right here? We're going to push this back. Push it back. And as we push it back, it's getting up under the chicken skin. Spreading up under the skin. Okay? Just like this, y'all. It's getting up under the chicken skin just like that. A little bit more. If any fall out, that's okay because it's got to go on the inside of the chicken too. Alright, just like that. That's going to be up under the chicken skin. Then we're going to take a little bit, spread it around on the inside of the chicken. Put some on its sides. Remember, all of this is cooking down in the chicken. It does not have to be perfect. Just make sure you get it to the ends so that all the chicken can get some of this butter. Butter rub. I call it butter rub. And again, put it on the inside and on the sides. Just like that. Now, I'm going to go wash my hands, and I'm going to come back and show you how I add the fresh vegetables that I cut up. Okay, y'all, so I got my hands clean, baby. Soap and water, get them hands clean. No cross-contamination. I have my butter up under this chicken skin. So now I'm going to take my fresh veggies and I'm going to stuff the chicken with some of the fresh veggies. And I'm also going to put some around the chicken. Make sure these chickens get seasoned through and through. So let's go ahead and let's stuff it. Let's go ahead. Half an onion. I cut up a half an onion, so I'm going to put the whole half on the inside of the chicken. Then I have celery. Stuff whole these. This is 4 pieces of celery. And I'm going to stuff 3 in each one. And this is just going to give the chicken a good seasoning taste. Also, you know what we could do for each one? Not going to hurt. Okay, so this is my, you can see this? This is my cut up stuff. This is a half of an onion, and out of the 4 stalks of celery, this is 4 pieces of that cut up. So we're gonna go around the chicken, just like this. All in the middle. Every part of this chicken gets some seasoning. Okay, and then once we do that, then we're gonna take and we're gonna put our dry seasonings on the chicken. So I'm gonna put some salt on it. I'm gonna also hold these girls up. Put a little salt on the inside. Let's go into the bottom with some salt. I'm gonna go some onion powder. Remember, we seasoning these chickens for our dressing. This is the only part of this dressing you will add onion powder or garlic powder too. The only part. And that's just your meat, seasoning your meat. It has to go in the chicken. In the dressing, my bad. All right, we're gonna go dry seasoning. It's the Creole seasoning. put a little bit on the inside. Okay, we're gonna come back with the black pepper. And you have to season your chicken to taste on this part. And then the last thing I'm gonna do to add just a little color for y'all, I'm gonna go sprinkle a little parsley flakes. Set the phone down. Don't stop. Just set the phone down. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, this is just the half of chicken broth that we were using earlier to put into the turkey necks. So I'm just gonna pour this into the pan. I'm not gonna pour it on the chicken because I don't want my seasoning to come off the chicken. It's gonna come off in the oven anyway and sink down into the roasted pan. And remember, you don't need a whole bunch of water down in there because these chickens gonna make their own juice. Then you got butter in there, and these veggies are gonna sweat too. See there? Chicken broth and half a box of chicken broth is enough to get right up on those chickens. So now we're gonna take some aluminum foil and we're gonna stir these bad girls up. You cover them up good. Okay, and I'm gonna place them in the oven for about 2 hours at 350 degrees. If your chicken is to your liking, before the 2 hours is up, you can go ahead and take them out. And then once I get to the next step, I'll show y'all what I'm gonna do with the chicken. By that time, my turkey neck should be ready. So I'll see y'all in a bit. All right, Boo Fam, this is the finished product of the 2 rotisserie chickens. Once they came out the oven, we're gonna take this chicken and we're gonna break it down so that it can go in the dressing, and we'll keep this chicken. Also, here's the finished product of the cornbread. We let the cornbread cool. This is the homemade cornbread. This is Jiffy cornbread that I made as well. I like to break up Jiffy cornbread to go into my dressing as well. These are the veggies that we let cool that's going to go into the dressing. And these are the turkey necks that we let cool. That's going to go into the cornbread dressing as well. I'm going to take this pot and break up both of my cornbreads into this pot so that we can assemble the dressing. Now we're doing is just crumbling up the bread into the pot. And you want the middle part of the bread. All of it is edible, but I was taught to use the middle part of the bread. So this is what I've always used. These are our veggies that we cooked down. This is one of our whole rotisserie chickens. I broke up the whole chicken. And this is the turkey necks that I broke off the bone earlier. So now what we're gonna do is take this and we're gonna put this into the bowl, into the pot with the cornbread that we broke up. Now, if you don't like your veggies this well done, you do not have to make your veggies this well done. But we, on the other hand, do not like crunch in our veggies in our dressing. So let's go ahead and start assembling the dressing. I like a meaty dressing. I want every bite to be full of meat. Okay, now I put in, only thing I season my dressing with once it's at this point would be the chicken broth, chicken broth, Progresso breadcrumbs, pepper, and some salt. Then we have the leftover juice from when we boiled the turkey necks. I used that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour that little bit of juice in there. That juice has a lot of flavor, y'all, because you've been boiling those turkey necks for a couple hours in it. So now I'm gonna we're gonna start out with about 2 cups of breadcrumbs. Remember, the breadcrumbs is what's about to give the dressing its taste. And I like the Italian breadcrumbs, gives it a better flavor. And this is gonna be about 2 cups, 2 to 3 cups. You do it on your liking. Then we have our black pepper. Remember, you're putting this in a big pot. So you want to make sure you season it all well. Now I'm going to take my chicken broth. This chicken broth is full of flavor too, y'all. I'm just gonna mix all of this stuff. Dressing should look before it goes into the oven. Now we're gonna put this in a 350-degree oven, covered, and make sure it's covered with Alright, y'all, I'm gonna let this cook for an hour, hour and a half, possibly 2 hours. My oven is kind of slow, so just however fast your oven cook. You want this to cook down through. So that's why I'm gonna you want your seasonings to get together in the oven and cook through the cornbread. That's why I'm gonna leave it covered first. The last 30 minutes that you're gonna leave it in the oven, uncover the dressing so that it gets a nice brown coat on the top of the dressing. So once the finished product comes out the oven, I'll show you all the finished product. So see you in a little bit. All right, Boo family, this is the finished product of the cornbread dressing. Until we meet again, Boo fam, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let everybody know. Share this video so everybody knows what the housewife and her children, my crumb snatchers, are doing over here in this kitchen. Always remember, a family that prays together stays together. Bye, Boo fam.